It was an eventful night tonight on NXT. We had a whole bunch of matches with a whole bunch of results, and we're going to talk about all of that right now on the NXT After Show for AfterBuzz TV. Stay with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another NXT After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. We got the whole squad in town. Why would they be out of town? That would be an irresponsible way to do a show. I'm one of your hosts, the internet's Mark B. Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. Joined as always by the one, the only, Bill Hanstock. How you doing, Bill?
What's happening, everybody?
It's great to see you.
Thanks. It's great to see you also.
You know what? Feeling it. It feels good. We do have a third here, though, and it's the Hobo.
I see what you did there.
Switching it up.
Yeah.
It's a new year.
It's been a new year for the last month plus.
You heard it here
It's
first.
February.
It's a new year.
Yeah, I operate off of the Chinese calendar, so it's still a new year to me.
All right,
But-
fair enough. You
Thank
enjoying
you.
your cock?
Yes, I am.
Good.
Yep. How about you? What are you enjoying today, Hobo?
That's a cock you can't beat.
No.
Thanks, Bill.
I
And
like
you
to
can
batter mine.
follow the Hobo at True Hobo.
DraftKings type?
Yeah.
Luckily, we're not sponsored tonight because it's gonna be a fun one. Tonight's show started out very interestingly. We got Nigel joining the table for the first time with Percy Watson and Tom. Hashtag Speak Up Tom. And our first match of the night is Sanity. We don't know. It's all four of them, so we don't know what they could be coming out for. It could be a women's match. It could be maybe them just talking.
Quilting.
Possibly.
Quilting, yeah.
Killian Dane could probably quilt some of his hair.
Sure.
On his back.
Yes. Embroidery. Like,
If he shaves it as per the audience's request, then he could probably make blankets for the homeless.
Get a shuttle and a loom going. Make some
yeah.
rugs.
Sweaters. Make a sweater.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, it's already a sweater.
Well, he's got a summer sweater.
Killian Dane, nature's sweater.
Heavy sweater.
And you can take that any way that you want.
The sweater in the north.
They're taking on the Bollywood Boys. Love seeing some Harvin Gerv, but
Whenever you see the Bollywood Boys, you know it's not gonna go very well for them.
Yeah.
Especially against Sanity, 4-on-2, and I mean just the sheer weight of whatever tag team. Even at the lowest, you still have Eric Young and you got Wolf. It's still, they're way mismatched. It's never gonna go well for the Bollywood Boys.
And Wolf didn't even get a chance to get into this match. What did y'all think of it? What did y'all think of tonight's tag contest?
What was it they said the last time they were on Butter Chicken Beatdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Don't like
they
the
got
butter
their,
chicken.
They got their
Ooh.
chicken buttered this time for sure.
They were beating their chicken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way that I could put that.
It
Not that it
is
was put better
the new
earlier.
year.
It is the new year.
The Bollywood Boys now exist to get trucked by large men.
It worked. They
Yeah.
got both of them got
Large
trucked
men.
by one Great Dane tonight.
Killian Largeman.
Yeah.
It's his middle name, Killian Largeman Dane. But I really, the Bollywood Boys had such a positive presence and such a wonderful presence in the Cruiserweight Classic, and we haven't seen them have a chance to really come out of their shell and
Well,
Like
be
the Ninja
victorious.
Turtles on tour.
Exactly.
I think they've come
Available
out
on
of their
VHS at the
shell.
local Blockbuster.
I think they've come out of their show. The fans universally enjoy them. They always bring high energy to the ring. Whenever they come in, there's always dancing. They had a clacker thing,
Baby
which
gate.
right, or whatever the heck that was, some accordion that lacked a whole lot of parts. So the crowd loves them for that. They never get a win, ever. So when they do, it's going to be a celebration. That was not the case tonight. They lost. Very big loss.
Yeah.
Sad.
They lost bigly. Sad.
I haven't seen a Dane that ruthless since Hamlet.
Hey,
Oh, nice.
that's pretty
Nice.
good. Shout out to all of our fans in Denmark. All of them. And
The last time when I interviewed Tommy End
oh yeah.
over SummerSlam weekend, I accidentally started the interview by saying he was Danish.
Nope.
Yeah.
Boy, I bet
And
that
he was like,
went over real
Danish? And I was like, let's start over.
Good.
Yeah.
I
At
was
least you knew right away.
happy that didn't go to air.
Well, no, he called me out on it right away.
Yeah.
He was like, Danish. I was like, no. I'm. Look, you have to understand. We're in America. We don't know anything about geography. Not a thing.
Like, people were calling me out about calling the multiple countries of the UK, and they're like, well, it's one country. It's sort of like like municipalities. I was like, hey, just be happy I got your names right. I'm a dumb American.
I wrote a thing on like 3 UK promotions coming to WWE Network, and someone was like, over the tops in Ireland, and I was like, okay. You know that's still the UK to everyone who's not in the UK. Hey, you Brexited. This isn't on me.
You hate Brexit. Speaking of Brexit,
We got all your letters about how last week's show was too on topic.
yeah.
Right,
So we're
so now we're
throwing
changing.
it out.
You see how he was trying to move us forward,
Yeah.
and we brought it back? That is
Not now,
our
Mark.
signature move.
forward, 2 steps.
MC
back.
Scat Cat, everybody.
That's me. I'm the scattiest. But Killian Dane, we saw a new finisher from him tonight. Looked oddly similar to somebody else who does an electric chair driver.
Yeah.
Do you think that sends a message?
I literally have no idea. Yes and no.
telling. Yeah, there's no telling. Like, it might be a little bit cheeky, but also we saw later that he has a different devastating move that he can also use. He's just a big dude, and he's going to do a lot of different stuff, and anything that he does can end you at any given time. Sort of like our dear departed Samoan Joseph.
Yeah.
Yep.
Poor lad.
He's just a weaponized Irish bear. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Because it has been.
Make sure you Google that.
It's
Please.
Safe search off. What? Safe search off. But it's been well known that a good finisher is one that you can do on anybody. And do we see Killian Dane doing this to The Big Show or a Braun Strowman?
Let's take things one step at a time.
I don't know how strong he is. I don't foresee him doing that. For tonight, it worked great on Harv and Gerv, but I think that crossbody of his might be the real signature finish.
The
Imagine
running cement
him
wall.
delivering that bad boy to Big Show's upper thighs.
Oh my god. Right in the knee. Ugh.
After the match, after Killian Dane gets the win, Nikki Cross shouting,
Oscar, give me Oscar!
Give me Oscar! Give me Oscar! Runs and looks running all over the place. They just throw her to the side. Everyone finds their place. If you don't find it, we'll put you in it. And Ty Dillinger, you belong with us. Sort of a one last
Why
one.
do they still want him?
He's the perfect 10. He was in the Royal Rumble. They weren't.
They only have one
Alright.
Canadian guy right now.
Yeah. They need more of that.
But you can't have two of the same thing. We got a guy from Ireland, a guy from Germany, a guy from Canada, and a chick from Scotland. We can't have another guy from Canada.
Why not?
Eric just wants somebody to talk to. You can't talk to these other guys.
They don't speak Canadian.
Yeah.
Well,
It's got to be the language of their people.
It's a lonely life, but you gotta get used to it.
It's like, hey, Gordo, meet me in Kitchener.
Sorry, I'm a little rough on my Canadian, so I think I got most of that. That's why I can't even respond.
I think, you know what? I'm starting to think
double,
that
double,
Sanity was the one. I'm starting to think that Sanity were the ones behind that maple syrup heist.
Really?
Yeah. It all checks out. I mean, it makes
explains a
sense.
lot.
Also, I think that Eric Young should always wear that choker because his voice sounds like his vocal cords are just barely being held together by Scotch tape.
I think he needs one of those things that you put
Oh,
into
like
your
the
lyrics and you talk.
The cane.
Does sound like this. He always sounds like that anyway.
So why bother with the prop?
Everyone
because
needs a
there
gimmick.
needs to be some explanation.
Everybody needs a gimmick.
Nobody believes that he talks like that naturally. Nobody. It's clearly fake. It has to be fake.
Have you seen his fishing show on the Travel Channel or Animal Planet?
So he can keep up the gimmick for a long period of time.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that it's real.
Does he use his weird voice as sonar to attract fish? Is he like, carp?
I would love to see him just dunk his face in the water and scream.
Probably happened.
He should play Black Bolt in the Inhumans movie.
Well,
Shout out to Marvel fans.
and And then the head explode. Up next, we've got Liv Morgan versus Billie Kay, accompanied by Peyton Royce, who's tweeting right up until she made it to the outside.
Escaped.
Yeah. This match was a lot of fun. It was a lot of back and forth. Liv, despite the size disadvantage, seemed to really be getting the best of Billie Kay at any given time.
She's quick. She's scrappy.
Scrappy.
She knows how to move to get around somebody. She doesn't have the largest repertoire in the ring, but what she does have works well enough for her that she can pick up an occasional victory or at least hang for an extended period of time. Asuka notwithstanding.
Bill, what did you think of this contest?
Peyton Royce's boots were amazing.
They were pretty sweet.
So good. Also, her shirt, which I hope becomes a real Peyton and Billie shirt. Can we give them a stable name yet, or
Aren't
the Australians?
The Aussies?
Well, that's what we call them.
Yeah.
But that
Iconic? Is that what it should
Iconic is what it said.
Yeah, I'm down with it. We
Just-
can call them iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah.
So it's like, look, no, we have shirts that say it. It must be true. Well, you called yourself that.
That's how all great people are named. No one actually gives you a great name. You have to take it. And then represent it. That's the real test. Can you live up to the name you gave yourself? If not, you will fade into the annals of history.
What about Just Joe?
That's not much of a name. I mean, you can.
I mean,
anybody
he's
can
a
be,
legend now.
Yeah, I guess if you take a name that's boring enough and then really cement your legacy.
Oh, were you looking at the point?
Huh?
Yeah, because it was just going out of here.
Hey.
Peyton Royce ends up costing Billie Kay the victory. They're playing
in a way.
I mean, still, it causes the referee to get involved. Liv pushes Billie into Peyton.
Right.
Gets the roll up for the win.
That's what really happened. Liv pushed Billie into Peyton. It wasn't so much that Peyton cost the victory. It's that Liv was smart enough to use two people against one.
She's been listening to the Spice Girls to become one.
Thought it was a live to
I was
win.
hoping you would regale us.
Oh,
with
well,
an
it's
excerpt.
a song about. It's actually a song about doing it.
Is it really?
I didn't know until I was like almost 30.
Huh.
I thought it was just about love, like in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it is about love, but it's about the act of love making.
Yeah.
But
Physical love.
I thought it was about like when your souls become connected. I thought it was like romantic. I didn't know it was about. Somehow I missed the literal lyric of "put it on, put it on." Also, want to make love to you, baby. I mean, that's in romantic songs, but I didn't think the song was literally about like making the beast with two backs. They should have called it "To Become One Back."
All right.
Yep.
In the back, we have Ty
This has been our
Dillinger.
Spice Girls after show.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
This just NXT After Show: Spice Girls Love Me.
NXT Takeover, Spice Girls.
I'd be on that panel. Just talking about Spice World every week. Our weekly Spice World after show.
At this time, we would love to announce our new Spice World show for the Popcorn Talk Network.
Yeah.
Spice World Weekly.
Spotlight on Spice World.
Oh, did they get the Spice Girls? No, we're just talking about Spice World. In the back, we got Ty Dillinger talking about how he lost to a numbers game. He's not joining Sanity. Wants to talk about the Royal Rumble.
And that's insulting for a 10 to lose to a numbers game.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
He lost
One night,
3 to 10.
5 twos.
Miss you, George. Sanity ends up beating the crap out of him, pulling him out into the arena, bring him into the ring, and Roderick Strong and Noe Jose come in and make the save. We got a standoff, and it takes a sick kick, a right hand from Jose, and a super kick to send Dane just to the outside. He probably could have landed on his feet if he wasn't rocked.
He absorbs it.
Yeah.
He just kind of, it rolls through him.
Every time he takes a hit, a new patch of hair comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be because his feet are planted. Maybe you have to like get his feet off the ground and then he
Yeah,
feels it.
it's like
Is that what it is?
it's like Blob.
Yeah, it vibrates into the ground.
They should do that thing where like when Colossus picked Blob up off of the pavement, but then the pavement was still stuck to Blob's feet.
Yes.
Like the ring,
Yeah.
he gets two 2x4s pop up. But who would do that? Would that be like a Tucker Knight or a
Yeah.
Otis.
Oh, we'll get
Dozovich.
to the Beef Boys. The
the
meat
Beef
train's
Yeah.
coming.
Before we get to that, William Regal makes an announcement that next week we're going to be getting Tyler Bate versus Trent Seven for the United Kingdom Championship.
Former partners going at it. Holy
Mustache Mountain
smoke.
explodes.
Mustache volcano.
So hairy.
Hairy lava. Gross.
Just erupts hair. Just, it's like when you pet a cat and all the hair.
That it's a geyser of hot hair. The Aussies burst in.
Hashtag geyser of hot hair.
Hot hair geyser. That's our stable name. Aussies demand a match with Liv Morgan next week. William Regal grants them this, but says that Liv gets a partner of her choosing. We're like,
is the best.
oh, cool. That'll be fun. And then they look at each other really like... I get intently, but like sitcom-y. Look at each other. Back at Regal. She doesn't have any friends, and then bounce away. Like
This was easily the best part of the entire episode.
it was like it was gonna be like just fine, and then it skyrocketed into amazing.
I love
I
them so
think
much.
they know how campy they are.
Oh, they absolutely know. And
They
that's what makes
know
them so
that
good.
They're treading on land that has already been well established. Another pair of females that are going after a singles belt. So they're doing their best to try and make it memorable for them being them.
Yeah.
Well, like, I
blame
still think fondly of Lay Cool. And
Right.
they were the same way. They were just so over the top and so obnoxious that you remember them.
Or the BFFs in
Yes.
NXT. Like, this is not a new thing. But they're trying to make it their own, God bless them, and that's what makes them unique and interesting.
I agree with that. Looking forward to whoever. Who do you think Liv's gonna pick up as her tag team partner?
Asuka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can it be that clear?
I'm just playing the numbers.
I don't think it's going to be Asuka.
Ember Moon. Daria.
Maybe Daria. Yeah, that would make sense. Daria Baronato. Yeah, because she's still got a little bit of score to settle.
My official guess? Karma.
I'm gonna go Daria as my official
And
pick.
she just comes out holding Michael Cole's head.
Yeah, works.
Sure.
The weatherman is dead!
His strength become me. Man, these polls have been great today. Speaking of great polls, we got Heavy Machinery. Tucker Knight and Otis Dozovich
The
versus
Midnight Meat Train!
Meat
Yeah,
Train.
buddy.
I hope they induct Rock and Roll Express. Anyway, versus the Revival. One of my favorite parts of this match is we've already seen what Heavy Machinery can do previously in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, but Wilder couldn't handle the sheer power of meat that these guys offered. And you wouldn't think that either Otis or Tucker, with their size, were as quick as they could be, but they really showed a different gear tonight.
Tucker Knight is deceptively fast and agile, and with that size, it makes him incredibly dangerous. While Otis Dozovich, while he may look to have a bit of a soft jaw, his body being that square means that he's almost completely impenetrable.
Yeah. He's like a keg in which it's a round size, but it is solid metal.
Right.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
The Revival goes hard. They get hard.
Yeah.
So one of the coolest moment of this match to me was the handoff bear hug.
Yes.
Tucker's got Wilder, makes a tag to Otis, or Otis makes his own tag, throws him off, catches him in the bear hug, and lands it even tighter. So cool.
You made the best call, human hot potato. That's the call right there.
But Revival, not willing to give up on their tricks, just get a whole bunch of quick tags in, stay fresh, beating up on Dozer. But we got Tucker Knight making a hot tag with a huge hip toss to Wilder. And then as Wilder goes off the ropes, we get Scott making the tag in, but hits him with a huge Luthez press.
And pins him. And
No
that's
punches,
a lot of
no
weight.
nothing.
He doesn't need it. He's got his
No.
entire body weight pressing down on Scott Dawson's chest. You don't need a punch
Not a fun day for Scott Dawson today.
to be under a guy that size.
No.
No.
Depends on what you're into.
Well.
True. How much meat do you need? A implant DDT takes out Knight for the win. The Revival gets the victory. They get on the mic. Dash Wilder says the Revival are the greatest tag team in the world today. Kind of hard to argue with their past year.
They're right.
Yeah.
They got an award for it, which they happily remind everyone about.
And they say that DIY should have never won the titles in the first place. They introduced themselves to the Authors of Pain, list off their many accomplishments, and challenge them to a title match in Orlando. Authors of Pain come out, Revival books. You know what? Hey, it's about the money. We're waiting for the money to come through, and then we'll fight you. As the Authors of Pain leave, Revival just sneak attacks them, sucker punches them, and get them.
Hey,
You got to take advantage when you can.
absolutely. That's how you beat a couple of big guys like that, when they're not looking.
It really threw off the Authors of Pain because they're really good at the sneak attack, despite
Well,
their size.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not so sneaky, but they do attack well. But they got completely caught off guard from behind.
Yeah.
Because it is a move of Dawson and Wilder to hit somebody behind their back. But the Authors of Pain felt that they were established enough to be respected, at least for being dangerous. But they don't care. Revival comes in, hits them from behind, runs away as fast as they can.
Makes sense. What did you think about the whole match and segment, Bill?
Awesome. I want to see Beef Boys every week.
Yeah.
I want to see Revival every week. I love it. It's just great.
Because we've been talking about
It's relevant to all of my interests.
what's going to happen to the tag team division now that we've lost TM61, and if anybody gets called up within the next season, where does the future lie? And so far, Heavy Machinery is the start of that, or Authors of Pain and TM61 were the start of that new generation, and Heavy Machinery is a very welcome addition.
We've got Tino and Riddick somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And then there was another. I said it last week, and I still didn't find their name. There's a new tag team.
Right.
With yeah. There's.
There are options. They're creeping in. It's not going to be a very quick influx of talent. They're creeping in slow.
We got a couple of creeps.
Yeah, some big creeps.
Creeps incoming. After this, we see a package for Tyler Bate because he's defending the title next week, just in case you forgot. And then we get Bobby Roode's glorious title celebration. He tells us so. Oh boy, did he tell us so. And he essentially tells off the entire arena, says it's a new generation, it's his NXT. What do y'all think about the future of NXT with Bobby Roode at the helm? Starting with you, Bill.
He did what he said he was going to do, and he did it his way, and I mean, it's hard to argue with him. He took out the top dog in NXT, and now he's going to finally bring some class to this crummy 2-bit operation.
I mean, we tried to in
Right.
when we went down to the live show, and he didn't even acknowledge us. And we were dressed to the I won't say to the tens,
sixes,
to
maybe.
To the eights.
7 or 8. Yeah, we were dressed
Yeah.
to the Trent 7s.
Sure.
And then after that, we get a Trent 7 package because he's in the United Kingdom Championship match next week, in case you forgot. And then our main event, Ty Dillinger, No Way Jose, and Roderick Strong versus Sanity. And this was very strange. Sanity came out second. Ty Dillinger came out first, and then No Way Jose, and then Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong. It was a very weird order,
No,
like to
you
try
had
to
it
get the
right.
crowd hyped. And it was like everybody was super into No Way Jose a little bit more than Roderick when they came out to make the save. So to have Roderick come out last seemed a little weird to me. Sorry, am I boring you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk
I
louder.
already know what happened. I watched it.
Why don't you tell us?
Well, you see, the three good guys came out, but
Yeah.
in an order that didn't make any sense.
Why is that?
At least to the audience. Because you have to look at who the audience likes best. And in third place is Roderick Strong. So he should probably come out first.
Yeah.
Just because that makes sense. Then you have No Way Jose come out second because everybody loves to dance. Then you have Ty Dillinger come out because he's a perfect 10 and he's way over with everybody. So that's generally the order. But first you have Sanity come out. But in this case, you had the good guys actually feeling like getting a little revenge on the bad guys. So you had the three that were previously entered the ring, jump the ones that were coming in.
Because technically we
just
did
to
already get
little
a
bit-
Sanity entrance at the top of the show.
Right.
Yeah. So the
I
fans
guess
got
I didn't
that
fully need it.
because it started with a brawl.
Yep.
And we don't know how it subsided because when we came back from commercial, everybody was back in the ring, just like, we're going to fight according to the rules now. Because Tyler's in the ring.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to follow the rules. We got until a 10 count.
I'll thank y'all to obey the officials' instructions, eh?
I was just waiting for the bell hadn't rung yet, so I was trying to take advantage. I'm sorry about that, eh? You know?
Yeah.
Cool. Shout out to our audio listeners. Sweet head nod by the Hobo.
I said yeah.
He said yeah.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
The crowd loves this team of Ty Dillinger, No Way Jose, and Roderick Strong. As seemingly,
Well, they love Ty Dillinger, No Way Jose, at least.
well, by the time Roderick Strong got into the ring, he was striking so fast and so hard that
He's like, hey, you guys.
I'm gonna kick you in the face.
Hey, you. Get your Dan.
Get your
Do we
Dan.
have to swear?
Get your Dan Hansen off of her. Oh boy. Wolf got the brunt of this. He wasn't even in the first match of the night, so he needed to take some lumps. I think he got beat up by
He was
just
the
about everybody.
freshest. Well, I guess Eric Cannon would be the freshest. He didn't have to stand on the ring apron.
Right. Right.
You get
I mean,
crampy.
argu-
Stand in a little space there.
Wouldn't the mat be more comfortable to stand on at ringside?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, no, the mats.
Yeah.
On the ground. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Not the mattresses under the ring.
Yeah. Because there's always mattresses.
There's always mattresses.
Where do you think we nap?
Yeah. They never take that ring down. They just sleep in the ring.
Yeah.
It's like a big slumber party.
All the time.
It's like summer camp.
Yeah.
I would sleep in that one of the 7 rings they have that's soft.
Oh, the crash ring?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I would sleep in the punji ring.
Punji?
Yeah. Like
No, you're
Rapunji?
describing Hobo's scent.
Punji.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, Hobo, love you. A little bit happy that I get to sit across from you and stand next to
Yeah.
you. Sorry,
Yeah.
Bill.
Mark's got the best seat.
Thanks.
Yeah, I get to look at my 2 boys. Look at my
boys.
Look at my boys.
See, I'm wrestling Sunday, so I can't shower yet.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta keep his scent strong.
Yeah. It's #1 weapon. It's the nose. Eyes tear up. That does you
No,
take advantage.
I saw you work against Ryan Taylor, and it did not go well for him.
Hey.
His face turned a different color just because you touched him with your underarm.
Yeah.
It was some sort of gross yellow.
Yeah.
It's like that crust you get under your fingernails, but on your face.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I know
Shout
what I'm
out to
doing.
any fans of ASMR. I just made your night. So once Killian Dane got involved in this match, it was over. It was done.
He seems to be the peacemaker of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean as in a weapon, not an actual thing
That will-
used for peace.
That will turn you into pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'll break you down. He did it to the Bollywood Boys tonight, and he certainly did it to
I did it to
damn
Roddy.
near everybody.
Oh boy. He started beating up Dillinger. Nikki Cross got involved, gave him a hurricane run to the outside, and Dane, his running splash, the running cement wall, looks like Roderick Strong's head came off.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
It hit him just here and ended just above his knee.
Yeah.
I loved it.
He couldn't have gotten out of the way if he tried. He couldn't have ducked it. He couldn't have possibly countered it in any way. God love him, he ran right into it and tried to make something out of it. It did not work.
No, but it worked well enough to give Sanity the win.
Yeah.
And Sanity stands tall for the second time in a single night.
Yeah.
Whew,
They're
that's
establishing themselves.
Taking 2 trips to the pay window.
that's
That's
dominance.
nice.
Yeah, 2 envelopes with their name on it.
Yep. 2 winners' purses.
They gotta split it up between 4 people, eh?
Actually, yeah, they do need the money.
Yeah.
Actually, well, none of that maple syrup iced.
Well, I mean, also depending on how much they got for Sawyer Fulton's body, or whatever was left of it, they probably sold the bones.
You think?
Probably.
No, I
Maybe.
think they've kept it in the freezer for Nikki to gnaw on when she.
Oh, that's
she
smart.
does need somebody to distract her. I mean,
This left our 3 heroes standing in the ring, disheartened, a little bit sad,
Bereft,
frustrated.
downtrodden,
bemused.
downtrodden. That's supposed to be really bad.
Rod.
Yeah, you go. Rod.
Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodden.
Yeah.
They were looking at Sanity and went, "Oh, no way." Their sadness was at a
Trying to.
high level, almost as if it was a 10.
I'm trying to find some paper so I can draft my resignation.
And I'll try to find some books so you can stuff them.
Just
maybe I
chew
can
the
get
end off of your
impeached.
finger and write it in blood.
So this was a tone-setting show for what looks to be a good couple of months. Do you think what do you think from tonight we're gonna see sort of take hold at WrestleMania?
If tonight is any indication, I'd say Sanity is poised to have a dog in every title run.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just they came out from today's entire show looking as strong as any four individuals could be. So I really fear for the state of NXT in the way that Sanity is taking hold.
Bill, what do you think?
Well, the one explicit reference we got to WrestleMania weekend was the Revival challenging the Authors to a match in Orlando. I mean, obviously we're going to have a tag team match in Orlando, tag team title match. I think Revival will probably be involved, but I don't think that they'll be the only team challenging for...
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a single team contest either, because we didn't hear it all from DIY tonight.
And they're not out of the hunt. They
No.
still have a rematch, contractually obligated to said rematch.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how they're holding up either. We haven't had any sort of updates as to their physical condition post match. Granted,
on
I'm sure
Twitter.
they're sad,
Probably.
but past that, I'm just wondering when they're actually going to use their legally obligated clause.
Yeah. Me too. I'm hoping that we would get Sanity involved in the tag team title pictures. We get a fatal 4-way tag team match. That would be fun. Single match, Nikki Cross versus Asuka would tear the house down. What does anybody see for Bobby Roode at this point? Shinsuke, apparently there's been no severe damage to his knee after the match, which is good, which is great. And he gets a rematch. Do you think we see that at WrestleMania or sooner?
I think we see it sooner. I don't think that that's really a matchup that you can headline 2 takeovers with. I mean, you could, but I think WrestleMania weekend, we want to see something fresh. We want to see something that we haven't seen before. I mean, Bobby Roode came out. He set the tone of he's going to try and reign and lord over NXT until WrestleMania weekend and hopefully beyond for him. But I think that there's really a lot of places you can go, and I think that one of the most logical things that you can do with Bobby Roode's challenger is have Ty Dillinger somehow overcome his thing with Sanity en route to WrestleMania weekend, get back on a winning streak, and roll into Orlando because he and Roode never really finished their thing.
Yeah.
Roode got the better of him a couple times, but it wasn't always the final word.
And I kind of see that Ty Dillinger has one of the hottest hot streaks in terms of fan response. People on the main roster, on every show, 205 Live, SmackDown, Raw, Royal Rumble, whether he was in it or not, 10 chants have taken over the ring out counts. He seems to be a hot commodity, and I would love to see him and Roode go up again. And if you put that NXT title on the line, have him do his ultimate glorious victory at WrestleMania, at TakeOver Orlando.
There's just
Huge.
There's so many parallels you can draw between Ty Dillinger and Tyler Breeze. They were both there forever. They were both respected by everyone. They were both locker room leaders. They were both people that had homegrown gimmicks that the crowd just was super into. Everyone loved Tyler Breeze. The crowd loved to hate Tyler Breeze, but they loved him nonetheless.
Yeah.
And both of them just lose everything. But it seems like there's a difference. It feels like there's a distinct difference between Tyler and Ty, because Ty Dillinger came out a couple weeks ago and talked about how, maybe he doesn't even feel like a perfect in anymore. Maybe this is the end of the road for him. He's not sure. Like, Tyler Breeze sort of had some doubts. He complained to Regal, but he never had a moment where he came out and publicly said to the fans, I just don't know if I have what it takes anymore. Yeah. So it feels like there is a distinct arc with Ty Dillinger that Tyler Breeze didn't have. So Tyler Breeze, you knew that he was never going to win the big one. Ty Dillinger, Tyler Breeze, you knew he was never going to win the big one, but you kind of hoped he would sometimes. Ty Dillinger is sort of like, we need him to win the big one.
Yeah.
We identify with him. He's
We're all
that
perfect
underdog.
Yeah.
And being an underdog means being able to admit your faults, which is what Tyler Breeze never could do. He could never possibly admit that he was the reason he couldn't get the win. And because Ty Dillinger admits it freely, we can totally associate ourselves with him and hope that he wins it. I do agree that Dillinger and Rude is a good match for WrestleMania. They better start building it now. I think that a rematch is actually bigger money at WrestleMania than this particular rematch, and trying to make Ty Dillinger look like a title contender now.
Right.
When Rude and he fought, Rude wasn't in the title picture. Barely at all.
Right.
And so Ty Dillinger lost to a man who wasn't even considered for the title picture, which definitely hurts his standing overall.
Sure.
So he has to beat a lot of high-level people in a short amount of time if he plans to take on Bobby Roode at WrestleMania. Short of that, I have to imagine it's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode in a rematch at WrestleMania.
Okay.
What the problem with the takeovers as we know them is, at this point, it feels like there's so much going on. 5 matches isn't enough. So I think NXT TakeOver Orlando might want to be the first true 3-hour NXT TakeOver.
Because WrestleMania is going to be about a 5 or 6 hour show. So
it's just so interesting because this year at TakeOver, you have to have a women's title match. You have to have a tag title match. You have to have an NXT Championship match. You have to have Ty Dillinger on the show, and you have to have Shinsuke Nakamura on the show. So one of those two guys is going to be in the title match, but we do a triple threat.
Triple threat could work.
Maybe they build up to the rematch, but then Ty Dillinger wins, not a last minute, but the last couple weeks he builds up and forces his way into the triple threat.
Makes a big push.
Maybe he gets a fluke victory over either Bobby Roode or Shinsuke Nakamura, probably Bobby Roode, non-title, rolls him up for a 1-2-3, and all of a sudden we've got 2 #1 contenders. That's a possibility. It couldn't hurt.
There's enough people at this point to where I wish they would bring back the NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way so that it would be Fatal 4-Way Women's Match, and it would be a gimmick show. It would be Fatal 4-Way Women's Match, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Title Match, Fatal 4-Way NXT Championship Match. They've got enough people and enough people in each of those divisions to warrant a claim on the championship.
Sure.
True. So the
only problem is it's WrestleMania weekend and you don't want to bog down TakeOver with it, having it be. I'm not saying it's bogging it down, but you can't have it be a gimmick on top of being.
I agree with that. But I don't mean for this TakeOver. I mean just in general. They have so many, and we've seen Fatal 4-Way NXT Championship match not in a little while. We've seen 2 Fatal 4-Way Women's Championship matches. So it seems like that for the singles titles, that's their thing, and for tag teams, it's the 2 out of 3 falls, which we've been seeing semi-regularly, at least once a year. But it's the road to TakeOver Orlando begins. Before we go, let's hit a little bit of that AfterBuzz TV news.
AfterBuzz TV news.
Is there an echo in here? A couple of things. This past week, it was reported that Hideo Itami has been cleared to return. Whether we see him in this set of tapings or the next set of tapings, and to establish himself on that road to WrestleMania, where he fits back in, I can't see at this point. I really don't know where he would fit back in.
He always seems to get injured at the absolute worst times.
Yeah.
So that by the time he's healthy and ready to go, the world isn't ready for him. It's just really disheartening to see such a great talent not being able to get a foothold, just keep slipping.
And this time, when Hideo does come back, the person he was involved in a blood feud with is injured.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Whoops. Well, I mean, what if he showed up on 205 Live instead of NXT?
What if you built to a match at WrestleMania weekend with him and Shinsuke?
That would be cool.
That'd be pretty boss.
Yeah.
What better way? And that's a perfect story too, for Hideo Itami to say, "Look, I missed the better part of 2 years with injuries. And while I was gone, you came in and you became the new hot thing. But I want to prove to everybody that I have what it takes to not only stick around in NXT, but to be the best in NXT and to be the face of NXT. And the way I do that is by defeating you.
Reminds me of the Shinsuke Finn.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on a much grander stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Oh, with two guys who are going to absolutely kick the bejesus out of each other.
Oh my God, yeah.
One of the hardest hitting matches in NXT history. And we thought Shinsuke's first appearance was...
Because this would also be the first guy to be able to truly step up and be like, oh, you want to throw down with strong style?
Mm-hmm. Right. Challenge him for the
Prince
for
of
the
strong
name.
styles
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Challenge for the
Yeah,
kingdom.
they can fight for a crown.
Yeah. Why not? Do it with all the English guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like that a lot. Let us know what you want to see. I almost said Kenta. Hideo Itami do when he returns to NXT.
You can't just say that name anymore.
No, I can't. Also,
It's a spicy meatball.
this past week, Asuka broke the record for the longest reigning NXT Women's Championship, beating Paige's record.
Which means
she holds the longest. She is the longest reigning champion in the singles division. But as Bill informed me, if she holds on through Orlando, she will break every record.
if she hangs on until
Orlando, she will break the tag team record as well. Mm-hmm. Nuts. Great. She will be the greatest champion in NXT history.
Yep.
Yeah, easily.
And then the only record left for her to break is the number of reigns, which let's not put that past Asuka.
No, yeah.
It's possible.
She hasn't lost a match yet.
Though I think she would rather die than lose. So,
But that's also the thing is, in order to break that next record, she'll have to lose.
Yeah.
yeah.
But if we have a fatal four-way or a three-way match, she can lose the title without losing.
We thought there was going to
Didn't
be
we
like
say that already?
We did. But
There is an echo in here.
Right.
Sticks around for about a month, a couple weeks. How about that? And that's the end of the news that we have. I think that'll bring us to the end of our NXT program here. Not that crazy. You know, it was crazy in some parts, not too off the cuff.
It started off a bit disjointed,
Oh,
but we focused up, we buckled down, and now we're here.
Moving side to side.
here we are.
Yeah.
Too true. Gentlemen, before we
Face to
sign up,
face.
before
A couple of silver spoons.
a couple of multi-backed beasts.
Two
Where
become one.
before we head off, is there anything y'all would like to promote, as well as where the folks can find you on social media?
Bill?
You can find me on Twitter at Sundown Motel, and Sundown Motel, and you can check out my writing at withspandex.com, uprocks.com/sports, uprocks.com, and wherever fine uprocks are uprocks.
Also, we can hear your voice
you can hear my
on
voice.
Xbox 12360 today. We had Bill call in, tell us a little bit about Gronk, and talk a little bit about the future of what we maybe
Future of Gronk.
the future of Gronk and
Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor and what he would do at WrestleMania. It was wonderful having you on the show, Bill.
That was a blast.
Love to have you back on. Maybe in studio. I mean,
cool. I'd
what are
do
you
it.
doing on a Wednesday?
Nothing.
You jamoke?
Certainly not
I'm
this.
sorry. I did. Nobody's doing this. Thank you, Bill. Hobo.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at TrueHobo, watch Fight TV, and Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I'm going to be filming with them on Sunday.
Oh, are you going to tell people about the special Fight TV promotion that's going on tomorrow?
Nope.
Thursday, Fight TV is giving away their entire library for free for 24 hours.
Well,
So you can download anything.
Well, you
Oh, yeah, I did
Stream anything. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
that's cool. So do that. Watch
his
me.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm working on stuff. We're gonna go into Florida and Hawaii, and just if you want to see me in either of those places, tag a promotion or promoter with the hashtag Hire the Hobo. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Taste the hobo, smell the hobo.
Taste the hobo.
taste the difference.
When you smell
That's-
them, you can't taste them.
It's pretty bad.
It's
It's a
good.
scent you can chew on.
Thanks, Bill. And you can find me on Twitter at Mark Donica. You can find our wonderful merchandise at nxtteamnotesbutcher.com. It's where we have our Give Me a Legs shirt. You can support your favorite AfterBuzz turned WWE reporter / correspondent, and we have a lot of stuff for Bill, stuff for Hobo, stuff for myself, and stuff for the entire team.
We just had somebody make a purchase this past week.
We did, and we can't thank you enough, because that stuff really does help us get to like WrestleManias and takeovers and all of that. So do us a favor, head to NXTandBetsBurchard.com, especially leading into WrestleMania season. We could really use your support. Get yourself a nifty looking shirt at the same time. And always remember, give me your legs. You can follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV. Leave us a comment on iTunes. Subscribe here on YouTube and on iTunes. A comment down below. A thumbs up. We love you. We'll see you next week for the NXT After Show on AfterBuzz TV.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The couch.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.